If you're ever struggling with low mood, poor confidence, depression, anxiety, imposter syndrome, just having willpower to get up every day and get on with things and see positives in the day to day, then this video is for you. Today I want to share with you one of my wins. It feels like a small win, but it's really a big win. Something that's been a challenge for me for a while now, actually, and I haven't really talked about before. So it's quite a big deal for me to put it into words, but I'm going to try my best for you today. It's a little bit on the windy side where I am at the moment, so hopefully the wind's not picking up too much. I've got my muffler mic on today, so usually it does a good job at keeping the background noise out, at least. So this morning I woke up and I was feeling low. I'd been having strange, odd, vague dreams through the night, quite vivid. So I woke up this morning with my head full of what I'd been dreaming about. Usually I'm someone who doesn't dream very much at all. If I do, I don't remember it. So it's something that I've had happen from time to time. I wonder if it's the citalopram medication I'm on. I don't know. But it's, yeah, seems like a side effect, maybe. But it threw me off a bit this morning. I wasn't really in a good place because of that. I was feeling low, feeling worthless really this morning. I saw my children briefly, so I did have a bit of human interaction, which is nice to have before I leave for work. And on my way in, I was just feeling so worthless, and I had the recurring thoughts going into my head again about just either staying on the train and not getting off, or not going home, or just drifting, just that kind of overwhelming feeling of wanting to just disappear, really. It's a hard sensation to describe, really, to try and give everyone the full effect of how much that overwhelms you, really. But I hope you can picture it, and you can get a sense of what that could be like. And I ended up putting some music on, really loud in my ears, an album I've been listening to recently, a bit of Alice in Chains, the MTV live, for those who are interested. I'm going to say 1993, but I'm probably a bit off there. Might be more like 96, actually. Can't remember exactly. Anyway, and that just helped switch my thoughts off, focused on the lyrics. I had loads of people get on the train, all sat around me, all chatting to each other as well. So I was kind of trying to drown that out. And I was like, I can't deal with work today. I just don't want to be around anyone. I just need to be invisible, and just that sort of confidence in myself, really, just wasn't there. But I thought, I'll see how I go. I didn't get off the train. I didn't turn around. I didn't take any action. I just let that sensation just go through me, really. And actually, for the first time ever, I felt it pass. It's really hard to describe what that actually felt like, but I let that sensation drift, and it went away. And I've had this happen to me so many times before, where I just get overwhelmed by that sense of just worthlessness. It almost feels like there's a loss. But I often found myself feeling completely overwhelmed and good for nothing, really low morale and self-worth, and I'd often go home and see the day as a write-off, really. And I'd speak to certain people in my life, my wife, my manager, that kind of thing, and I'd say, look, I'm just yeah, I'm not feeling right today. It's my mental health, and hopefully I'll feel a bit different tomorrow. And I have lots of days where I'm fine like that, really. On a day-to-day basis, I can get up, go to work, and I can have really good days. I can have positive days. But today was a day where I felt I broke through that wall, really, that sense of worthlessness and feeling like I was good for nothing. And I made it to work. So it might not sound like a big deal, but with my mental health and my depression and my anxiety, it can feel sometimes like the difference between going out the house to go and do a day of being productive, of feeling like I'm valued and I've contributed something, and I've created some positive memories, maybe with my kids, and leaving the house and just walking in front of traffic. That's the difference. And they can look the same, the way you leave the house, everything else. Obviously I'm not walking in front of traffic, but the mindset, it's a fine line sometimes between the two. So I feel like today was like a huge, huge win for me in being able to kind of overturn that negative feeling that's just like really all consuming for me at times. So I did have what I felt like was a bit of a migraine coming on as well, which also didn't help this morning. But I tried to push it to the back of my mind. And in one sense, I had commitments at work, and I was using those commitments to kind of try and push myself forward in my mindset this morning. But in another sense, I was like, no, I can't deal with commitments today. That's the absolute worst thing that I needed. So I was really sort of flitting between the two with how I felt with that. But I tried to use it as a motivator, and in the end, whatever I did, did the job, and I got through it. So I'm really pleased with myself for that. And once I was in work, once I'm busy, once I'm active, once I'm engaged with the people around me, and I'm doing stuff, I'm not stuck in my head. And sometimes for me, I think that's one of the challenges with traveling long distance to work, is that you've got a lot of time to sit with your thoughts, and it's very difficult to kind of keep yourself distracted. It's okay saying read a book, but if you can't concentrate, it's too noisy, you've got people around you, you're not always in the mood for music, or listening to an audio book or something. So it can be a very difficult situation to be in sometimes. So I wanted to share that little bit of success with you all, because it's proved to me that having a bit of perseverance and allowing yourself sometimes to ride the wave of feeling negative and those bad feelings, that it doesn't always have to define the rest of your day or the next action that you take. Those bad feelings, that negativity can pass, and you can go on to have positive experiences during the day. Um, There's been many a time when I've not been able to get past those negative feelings, and that's defined my day and sometimes my week. So it's not always positive. Is this a sign for me that I'm maybe turning a corner? That I'm able to push past those negative experiences? Time will tell. Could it be a one-off? I don't know, but I want to try and use this positive experience today of overcoming that negativity to push through the next time I'm feeling like that and see what happens. If you've had experiences with your anxiety and you've been able to overcome it in some way, please share your experience in the comments. I'd really love to hear how you've overcome your own challenges, because I think everybody's different. We all have different triggers, we all have different experiences that we can really learn from each other the more we share. Right, thank you for listening, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.